Welcome to another edition of This Week in Disc Golf. It's Thursday, August 11th, and it was some week in the sport of disc golf. Let's dive right in. The Fierce documentary, all about Paige Pierce's chase for a sixth world championship in 2021, is available now on Disc Golf Network. Check out last week's This Week if you want to see a trailer. And having seen the movie myself, I can highly recommend it. Beautifully shot, wonderful film about kind of a time capsule of 2021 and the career of Paige Pierce. In PDGA news this week, the Champions Cup, the new major that had debuted this year at W.R. Jackson in Georgia, is going to be returning to W.R. Jackson. Originally, it was planned in 2023 to be held at the Toboggan course that typically hosts the Great Lakes Open. But the PDGA announced this week that due to so much overwhelming positive feedback, they're going to actually pull it out from Toboggan, put it back at W.R. Jackson at the International Disc Golf Center and the headquarters of the PDGA. And the plan is to keep the tournament there for the foreseeable future. The PDGA is working with Columbia County in Georgia to try to come up with a plan for having the event there for years to come. Nate Heinold, the tournament director for the Great Lakes Open as well as the Ledgestone Open, is going to remain on as the tournament director of the 2023 Champions Cup. He said, quote, "The inaugural Champions Cup was fantastic to watch on the exciting Jackson course. The next steps will be to continue to push the event forward when it comes to the spectator experience. The player experience will continue to be top of mind. Pushing the event forward will mean giving the spectators an even better experience." Champions Cup is set to be held in April 2023, following the Masters, just a stone's throw away in Augusta. In other PDGA news, Nico Locastro has been suspended for 9 months from PDGA events and will also have probation for 15 months following an altercation that he had with a tournament official at the European Open. He was disqualified from the European Open, and then it was sent to the PDGA Disciplinary Committee, who determined that Nico had committed a Class A offense. That's the highest in their system. Typically, Class A offenses come with a 24-month suspension, along with 24 months of probation. Nico Locastro was determined to have mitigating factors, cutting his suspension down to 9 months. He has 30 days to appeal the decision, and many people have been speaking out about this online, some thinking that his suspension was too long, others thinking that it was not long enough. We'll get back to that when we talk about our social media minute this week. It's going to be a social media 2 minutes, I think. This past weekend, we had the Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event, the Mid-America Open at Harmony Bends, one of the best disc golf courses in the U.S. Let's take a look at some of the action. We'll start in FPO, and we'll jump straight to the final round. Sarah Hokom coming in with a 4-shot lead. But it was Kat Murch who was putting on some early pressure. She cards the birdie on hole number 1. Continuing to have an excellent season. And Hokom, struggling on hole 1, takes the double bogey. So in for the 7 on the par 5. Kat Murch cards the par on hole 3. Sarah Hokom continuing to struggle a little bit, and after 3 holes, it's all tied up at the top. Murch and Hokom tied at 2 over par, but Hokom starts to right the ship. Alex Benson cashing in the birdie putt on 9. That gets her 1 shot closer to Sarah Hokom. But the Wizard of the Woods started to play like she had the rest of the weekend. Parks it on hole 8, in great position on hole 12 inside the circle, knocks down the birdie putt there, and just like that, her lead is back to 4. Second shot on the 15th, slides it up to the edge of the circle. She would make the putt. Then 16, another birdie. Bang, in at 1 under par. And that meant that it was a casual walk-in on 18 as Sarah Hokom got another Silver Series win this season. It's her 4th all-time. That's the most in Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series history. So Sarah Hokom continuing to get the job done. Anytime you're in the woods, do not count her out. We jump now to MPO, and we go to the final round. Alden Harris and Gannon Buhr up at the top of the leaderboard, but Chris Clemens on the chase card gets the birdie train rolling early, 2 under through 3. And Anthony Barela was red hot to start this round. He cashes in a third straight birdie on hole 3, and he was making some moves in the front 9. Take a look at his tee shot on 6. Just perfect from Barela. Meanwhile, Gannon Buhr doing what he does, knocking down long-range birdie putts. How about the standstill? No problem. Cashing it in, edge of the circle. And Alden Harris, leader coming into the round, has had a great season, but yet to find a win on tour. Puts it under the basket on hole 8. Then on 13, a little floater and the fist pump. Alden Harris staying in the lead. It's tied at the top with Harris and Clemens, but Clemens in the clubhouse right there gets to 24 under. But Harris has 4 holes left to play. Gannon Buhr now 3 shots back. Harris with a birdie look on 15 to retake the lead. He's got it. So Alden back in front by a stroke, but struggles on 17. He's out of position off the tee shot, and his second shot hits the tree right in front of him. Gannon Buhr is only 3 shots back at this point. They're both together on the lead card. So his 4th shot on 17, good out. He puts himself in a position to save bogey. He's got a 1-shot lead on Gannon Buhr and a 1-shot lead on Chris Clemens going into 18. Perfect tee shot. He gets it up to just about 125 feet from the basket. He goes over the OB ditch, and that puts him in for birdie, and he gets the win. Alden Harris, first win on tour, and his good friend Gannon Buhr, they have been working together all around, gives him some love. Chris Clemens had been watching intently from the green on 18, but a playoff not to be as Alden Harris gets the victory. So we'll see what comes of Alden Harris the rest of this season. He's in great position to make the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. We are now just 2 regular season events away from the playoffs. We begin at the Green Mountain Championships, first round of the playoffs. Field cuts down, and then it cuts down again to the top 64 MPO and top 32 FPO for the MVP Open before players qualify to the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship. More to come in a future episode. So that brings us to this week's Social Media Minute. Paul McBeth posting to Instagram, 9 months for a first-time offender? I understand the situation could have been handled differently, but to claim intimidation as the offense seems off to me. The official doesn't step back like someone who's intimidated. He also stares the player down instead of trying to defuse the situation. Professional officials should know that players' stress levels elevated while competing in all sports, so why instigated the issue? I hope Nicolo Castro appeals the situation. From what I saw, it's a Class C at most. He followed up on that post saying, I'm obviously going to get a lot of messages on my take, but here's my reasons. Number 1, the official makes the call in 30 seconds. Nico asks why on 3 occasions, then gets an answer to all 3. 2, Nico says, step away from me. Official takes a half step back. 3, Nico walks back to his bag and the official stares him down the whole time. 4, Nico confront the official for staring him down, not for the call. The fact that he's suspended for Class A intimidation seems off to me. That is all. Paul McBeth has a history of standing up for players who are suspended by the PDGA, professional players. When Bradley Williams was suspended, he was very upset and spoke openly about the fact that the PDGA should have a more open and transparent process. That process is not really any different now in 2022 than it was in 2016. There's still a disciplinary committee that makes a decision on the length of a suspension and probationary periods, and none of the details are disclosed except to the individual in question. But A lot of people disagreed with Paul McBeth's take, including Brodie Smith. Brodie Smith going on Twitter and saying, "Just saw the screenshot. Gotta say that's a pretty bad take, Paul." And he gets asked, "Why are you calling Paul McBeth out?" And Brodie says he is blocked. He's got him blocked on Twitter. Elsewhere in the thread, Paul McBeth says, "He has me blocked, but I hope he stays," referencing staying with Discraft as a sponsored player. "I like the fact that he has to throw discs with my name on it." So Paul McBeth and Brodie Smith, once very close friends, have clearly had a falling out. Paul McBeth left Foundation Disc Golf, where he was a business partner with Brodie Smith earlier this year. And now we're seeing a public feud between these two. Very interesting stuff. McBeth getting involved in the Nico suspension conversation, and now this subsequent social media drama. It's been quite the week. Well, if you're looking for more disc golf to watch, look no further than the Ledgestone Open, which starts today. It's already happening. Make sure you get your Disc Golf Network subscription so you can follow all of the live action. It's a 4-round tournament in Peoria, Illinois. The MPO play at Lake Eureka and Northwood Black, and the FPO play Northwood Black and Sunset Hills. Northwood Black, a very challenging woods course that a lot of players say is one of their favorite on tour. Still, though, not great cell signal out there. That means that you can really only expect to watch the back nine live, but DGN will have highlights from the front nine on the coverage all weekend long. Final round will be free on YouTube, and you can, of course, follow all of the post-production channels that you've grown to know and love. That is going to do it for this week's edition of This Week in Disc Golf. We'll be back to talk some Ledgestone next week and get you ready for the Des Moines Challenge. Worlds is just 3 weeks away.